All right. Hello, friends and fans. Welcome
All
back
right, so
to
my
this lovely
number
channel here. Yo,
one
shut up. I'm
top
trying to do my
game,
intro here, man.
I would say, would
Anyway,
probably be
today we are
Hello
here
Kitty's Island Adventure.
to give the first edition of the semi-annual Carson Howard Game Awards because it has been half a year and there's been a lot of games that we need to talk about as we do. So because it's such a momentous occasion, I had to bring in some backup for today's video. So we have, of course, Josh, because no list is
Hi.
incomplete about Josh's presence. And then we also have two
Hi.
other people, which are named who?
Luke.
Okay, who's the other person I'm talking to?
Um, Isaac, the cooler one guest.
The cooler guest. Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be your name
Yes.
from now on, even if it's just you and me. Okay, so we are going to all rank our top three games of the year so far. The criteria for this is just simply if you play the game for the first time this year, it is eligible, and that's about it. So yeah, I would
That's
start
so
first.
broad.
Bro, that's what makes it fun, bro. This
Oh
is
my
my
God.
Yeah.
this is my
I've played other
my
games
show.
this year that I liked better, but I'm gonna try and keep it in this year.
Okay, do
I
it.
will
Yeah.
too, but I'm gonna have a curveball.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
It's from the future.
Well, I'll start with my number three. My number three. Are y'all ready for this? My number
I'm
three
ready.
is
Selling
Mario
math.
Kart World.
Mm.
Oh wow.
So I won't lie, I actually I have mixed feelings on this game because while I think some parts of the game are like the best in Mario Kart history, I think other parts are arguably the worst. I love the presentation. Music and visuals are both like top 10 maybe ever. And I think some of the gameplay changes are really cool. I think the open world was a great idea, and I think parts of it are done pretty well, but ultimately I think it's not fully realized. Like people have been mentioning recently about how the new update has kind of messed up playing online because half the tracks when you play them is literally just like getting to the actual course. Like I had like two laps out of the three is just like, driving down like a barren road or like street, and it's like, what are we doing here? Um, but I still like the game a lot. I think if built upon, it can be the best Mario Kart maybe ever, which is crazy that I didn't think I'd ever be saying that honestly, but I do feel that way. And yeah, I don't know. I think it clearly had a grand vision, and it just maybe wasn't completely realized yet. I hope we get DLC for this game. And I think if we do, it can be a fantastic game. I love all the carts and customization options, albeit I don't like the way it's organized sometimes. I think it's got a
There's
lot
a
of
lot
great
of hidden
courses.
stats.
There's a lot of hidden stats, which is, I don't really care that too much. Like, to me, like if you're playing Mario Kart looking for like a meta game experience, you're not playing the right game.
What do you mean you do that?
That is not true.
That's literally
But
what you do.
that is cap. But either way, um, I don't know. I think I think the game will be fun in like a year. I think it'll be really fun when they have more in the game
So it's not
and they
fun
fix
now?
some of the issues. Oh, well, you know, it's fun, but it could be better. That's the way I put it.
Is it worth
Um,
buying a Switch 2 for?
by itself, no. Not by
Ugh.
Oh,
itself. It's a fun game, but I mean, like the biggest issue I have with the game is, I mean, I played it for like 20 hours. I got through all the Grand Prix and
Oh
the
my
knockout
God.
tours, and then I was kind of done with it. I wasn't really, I wasn't really feeling the need to go back to it after that.
Hmm.
So yeah. I
Hmm.
don't know if y'all have any thoughts on this game. I know no one else has played it here except for me,
Nope.
um, but yeah, that's what I feel about it. I think it's a good
I just
game.
know you can be a cow, and that's pretty cool.
I do agree. The
Yeah.
cow is pretty based, even though I haven't really played as it very much. I do know it's like the fan favorite new character, so
Yeah. Well,
pretty based.
it's like the fastest on the Moo Meadows map because it has a hidden stat where it just drives faster on the off-road.
Oh yeah, it's like the home field advantage.
Hmm.
Yeah, fair enough.
All
Okay,
right.
well that's about it.
Are you doing your number two night, or is it
No,
like are
no,
we all doing our number threes?
someone else do number three now.
Okay.
Whoever wants to
I
do it.
guess let's do it in the order that you have it on the screen.
Okay.
Um, so I would say my mm, yeah, I'll say this one is my number three. Um, it is the game preview for Wizard 101 on console.
Wha- Okay.
What in the world is that?
So yeah,
Wizard 101?
That's what we're doing.
Wizard 101 is coming to consoles, and currently there's a game preview only on Xbox. And it's one of the best games ever, and so it's gonna be coming to Xbox.
So
And it will
how much of the game is on there? Is like how much of it?
um I don't know the entirety of it, but it's basically like a play test. So like all the like you can't use like your account that you have on computer because they're just trying to see if like it works. And
Yeah.
like the so like your stuff's gonna be like deleted, but like if you buy any crowns and stuff, it's gonna be like back in your account and then blah blah blah. But it's literally just to see how it works for consoles, and like I guess when people are gonna be like the controls need a little better. But I mean, but it's Wizard 101, which is like a really amazing fun game.
Yeah.
Uh Death Death Wizards Rise Up.
Is
How
this
many
the same
people?
game that came out like 20 years ago?
Yeah,
It is that Wizard
but they add new like expansions basically like once or twice a year.
Yeah, Wizard 101 is definitely a cool game. I will give it that. It's pretty
101. I do
cool.
like it. I will admit that.
Yeah.
I do
So
like the
when it comes
game.
to consoles, we should be four manning.
Maybe we will. You never
Make a
I'd be
know.
four
down.
make a make a four-man squad, dude.
Not even capping. I'd beat this. I'd be kind of down for that.
Yeah, bro. It'd be one of us is life, one of us is either fire or
I'm gonna do Mythic.
storm,
I'm gonna do Mythic.
and then one of us is death, which will be me, and then
What if I want to do that?
the other one will be either um, ice for defense or balance for just a
You're,
bunch of
you're
stuff.
forgetting Mythic.
Well, yeah, but it's like there's no point in myth.
No, it's the best one, dude. Yeah, I like the cards for it. They look cool.
Fine.
How many
I,
people can be on a server?
Well, it's a the max you can be in like a battle is 4v4.
No.
But I mean, but a server can have like a few hundred people or something, I think.
On the console one?
I don't know about specifically for the console, but like, because like the game is split up into like 30 different like public servers,
Yeah,
and everyone's just kind of on it all at once. So
I
like you
see.
can have more than like four people like there, but only four people can battle at a time, unless you're doing like a PvP and you're doing a 4v4 and there can be eight. Um, but yeah, plus the game's fully it's fully voice acted. Like the battling cards are cool, and when it's fully out, bro, I'm gonna be grinding.
I look forward to seeing that.
All right, Mr. Quiet.
Okay. All right. I guess anything else we have to say about this? Or are we moving on? Okay. Sounds good. All right.
All
Isaac, what is your
right.
number three?
All right, Isaac's number three game that he's started this year is It Takes Two. It's a
Okay.
solid game. It's a co-op multiplayer game. It's not really
It
a
takes
point in playing it by
two.
yourself. I don't even think you can play it by yourself.
No, you can't.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, but I just got it this year. I've been playing through it with my girlfriend. It's pretty fun. The only annoying part about the game is the book. Like the book is so cheesy.
Yes.
Also,
Yeah.
the child model looks so scary. Like I know it's supposed to be built around her, but she kind of freaks me out. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree. Yeah, the book is the worst part of the game. He's very annoying.
Hmm.
Yeah. But other than that, like it's a solid, like the mechanics are really fun. And like I feel like every area has something new to introduce, so it's never like stale. It kind of introduces something new every area, especially if you have like someone you're playing with that's never experienced a game
Oh,
before.
you
It's
know
pretty
what?
fun.
I didn't put Split Fiction on my list over here. I'm doing that right now.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah,
What are the
because it's funny is
spoilers?
I played Split Fiction. I just Luke and I actually just beat it like a week or two ago, and it's like that's a very similar game, obviously. And like it's always weird. Like I look back on those games and like I always remember like having a decent amount of fun. Like I do think that the gameplay and like the overall
I
level
got some
design
thoughts on it.
is solid. But I don't know, like the game's story never really like sticks with me ever. Um, I just always feel like it's very shallow storytelling, and plus it's like
Boo.
I don't know. I just like I feel like there are some segments that drag sometimes, and so like like here's the thing: It Takes Two won Game of the Year. It's clearly a good game, but I don't know.
Oh, I thought you
I
were talking about Split Fiction.
I mean, really, I mean, I'm kind of talking about both at the same time. Like, I
Oh, okay,
mean,
then
they're
boo.
very similar games. I mean, like, I like Split Fiction. I didn't think it was bad, but it definitely it has issues in my opinion. And I don't know. I feel like those games. The biggest problem is like these like two-player games. Like first it was A Way Out, then it was It Takes Two, now Split Fiction. I feel like the gameplay and the overall quality of the games has not evolved, in my opinion. Like it feels like once you play one of them, you could really have played all three of them. Um, and I don't know. I need to see more. I need to see the next one needs to be a little bit better, in my opinion. Like I need to see some clear progress from those games. Because they all feel the same.
Who would say that opinion's wrong?
It's a hot take for sure, I think.
Yeah, because I'd raise my hand.
No, I won't. I mean, it's just how I feel, bro. I'm gonna tell you. Isaac, are you playing? Are you playing as the father or the mother?
The father.
That's the base pick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He gets
I
all the
don't
fun
know. The
powers.
the woman looks like she has a lot more fun, but
Really?
you
See,
know how it is.
I thought the dad had better powers. I'm not gonna
Really.
lie. Yeah, that's just me.
Well,
Luke,
all
I'm sure
right.
you
Sometimes.
love It Takes Two. You love Split Fiction.
Um, It Takes Two. I didn't like. I thought it was a good enough game. I just really didn't like how cheesy they kind of made it.
Yeah.
It was just, it was like so corny to the point where I just wanted to like kind of like mute it for a second. I was kind of sick of what the character was saying. Like
Yeah, I
whenever he
agree.
came on, it'd be like a big like, oh my, like not this again, you know.
Yes,
That's
I
my
agree. Yeah, I mean, like it's like It Takes Two in particular. Like I struggled in that game in particular because at least to me, it never felt like to me, it never felt like the parents like really were getting any closer until like the very end, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, they're good now. Like I never really got the impression they actually like made progress in terms of like their relationship. Like they still argued like pretty late into the game about like nonsense, and it's like, are we really seeing any progress here? Like I don't really know if I am.
Yeah.
So
I don't think these people should get back together. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I didn't really sense they were actually like rebuilding anything,
they
and all of a
spend
sudden
like
they
an
just did,
after, yeah, they spend an afternoon together, and they're like, you know what?
and we're
Maybe we
good.
shouldn't get divorced. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't get divorced.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I don't think the stories in any of his games are bad. I don't think they're great either. I think they're not explored well enough. I think there needs to be more like thorough, I don't know, more thorough like thought put into them. I don't know, but
Mhm.
that's just me. I don't know. All right, Luke, what is your number three?
All right. A lot of y'all might not have heard of this one, but I'm gonna go with a little game called Blueprints.
Okay, wait, how do you spell that? Bloom what?
Blue,
Blue.
blue.
Oh,
Blueprints.
blue.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a game that sucks.
No, no, no. All
Oh,
right.
blueprints. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
No, no,
Prince.
Prince.
Like like a prince.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay. So basically, this game is it's a roguelike, which is my favorite genre of games.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's a bad roguelike.
No, no, no. I just don't have a lot of time to like
Uh-oh.
sit down for long story games and I'll forget some things that happen. So I like quick roguelikes where you can go and do a playthrough, learn a little bit more, and then like get out of there.
But it's not
And
quick.
and so the blueprints, you basically go until you're the heir to this big manor, and all you have to do is find room 46, and you go through and you draft rooms. So you'll walk a couple steps, and then it'll say, "Hey, you want to go through this door? These are the options of rooms it could be." and there's secrets in each room, and they change as you go deeper in, and every run is pretty different. I wouldn't say every run's completely unique, but I would say they're different. And just like having a puzzle game that's also a roguelike, I thought was really creative. And there's not a lot of creative games coming out uh, very often, so I appreciated it, and I was just a big fan of like learning all the mysteries and everything.
Hmm.
I
I
see.
think I should weigh in on this because this was one of I think this is one of the worst games of the year. Mainly due to it. I think it has like a 92 on Metacritic. Um, this game was just super boring.
Why?
Like I go in and like you do like the random like it's a roguelike, so it's like the random whatever stuff, but I feel like it just doesn't work that well because you go to another room and like you go through the room and you're like, okay, and then you find like a note and you're like, all right, this note is like kind of boring. And there's like another room and there's like some boxes and you open the box and you get gems and then you like use gems to like make more rooms and then like you'd start the next day and it was like I kind of felt like I just did nothing and it was so boring and there was a lot of there's not a lot of stuff you do in the rooms, like in a lot of the rooms are just nothing.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No.
I understand that's your experience, but I liked it because there's so many puzzles, and I had like a little notebook I kept with me, so I like learn like a set of numbers, and I just like being able to go through a playthrough and be like, oh, maybe this is like I know I needed this for something. Now then tomorrow I can go back and input this here, and I can learn more about either the lore or get like a new something that else that'll help me later on. Like I don't know, it felt rewarding. But yeah, there definitely were some rooms that had like yeah nothing in them or just like a little like consumable that you might need a little bit to make your run longer. But that's just kind of how roguelikes are. So I didn't really hold it against it, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Bad game.
I will admit I never heard of this game even, so I'm
Well, you haven't
curious
heard of a lot of
to
games.
yeah, well, yeah. I'm curious to look more into it after this is over actually.
Okay.
Okay. Number two for me, Life is Strange 1. I love this game. I have been wanting to play through this series for years, and I just never got around to it because I thought there were like way more games in this series than there actually were. I found out it was only like five or six. I thought there was like close to like 10, so I was like, I don't want to get into that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I finally set time to like get into it. I played it. I think it was on sale on the PS5 store for like I think less than $10. So I decided to get it. And yeah, I love this game beginning to end. It is another like visual novel story type game where your decisions matter and they ultimately shape the world and the story around you. And I thought it did a magnificent job at that. It has a interesting twist where you have the ability to go back and actually redo your decisions, but at the cost of the fact that most of your decisions don't immediately, I guess like show their change to the world. You don't really know like what the impact is until later on in the chapter, or maybe in a different chapter completely. And ultimately, I thought that was a really cool idea. It gives the impression of like you're still doing something, you're still changing the game and the story, and your decisions still matter long term, while also kind of giving it a little bit of a gimmick and not complicating it too much. The world is, I think, really interesting. The town of Arcadia Bay has a lot of interesting locations and people to see. And just I don't know the way the story plays out and the mystery around it. Like it's just such a joy to play. The characters like they feel all like larger than life, but it still finds a way to like really like touch at your heart and make you like really feel strong feelings and emotions toward the characters in the story. Um, so I really loved it, and I'm really excited to play more of it. I've only played, of course, Life is Strange 1 and then Before the Storm, the prequel, which I did not like as much, but maybe later we'll talk about that. But overall, yeah, this game was amazing. Max Caulfield is maybe my favorite protagonist in that genre, and overall, I just really enjoyed time with this game. I think it's great. I recommend anyone play it who's able to. And yeah, I thought it was a really good time. So yeah.
Yeah, the game's all right.
Okay, bro. Have you played it?
Yeah,
Really? That was
yeah.
okay.
It's like it's a decent game, but it's like
I thought it was amazing.
Carson,
What's up?
am I allowed to go back and change my third?
What? What?
Not because I think any less of the game, just because if we're doing games that I played this year, I feel like I
Yes.
kind of have to mention some one of them. You know what I
What?
mean?
You can do honorable mentions.
Did you not think this through
yeah, dude.
before we started?
I convinced
I
him.
had this man, listen, for
I
those of you
convinced
watching
him.
at home, I gave them a week to think about this.
No.
Yeah, I did.
I thought we were
Dang,
doing
dude.
games of the year until a little bit earlier today.
All right, well, okay.
That moment.
I will let you change it, but I'm putting blueprints below it to have everyone remember that you
That's
To
put this
F
good.
at
tier,
number
That's
to
good.
20.
F tier.
F
No,
Yeah,
no,
tier.
no.
F
All right.
tier.
What do you want here instead? What do you want?
So I want to
Wizard
put
101
I want to
console edition.
put Expedition 33 as my third.
That's your
Okay.
third?
Yeah,
That's
that's
Yep, that's
crazy
my
that
a
that's
third.
your third.
that's a good pick.
Oh,
It would
But
probably be
yeah,
my
third
number
is
one
pretty
if
interesting.
but I haven't played it yet. So
Neither have I actually. If I had played it, it'd probably
How
be
is it your number
top three for
one?
me. Yeah.
because I've seen stuff of it, and I'd be like, yeah, this is like the kind of
Yeah.
game where
I know it's
I
amazing.
would.
Okay, Luke, tell us about Expedition 33. Why do
So,
you
so
like it?
here's
all
the
right.
thing. Here's the thing.
Uh-oh. Well, we know what's on Isaac's list.
That's probably his number one, bro.
That is my number one.
All right, here,
No,
So,
shush, just
wait,
spoilers.
spoilers. All right, here, let Luke cook, and then Isaac can give his additional input.
All right. So I put it as my third because second one I thought a lot more it had a lot more time in the oven and there was much like more and then first I'm not even gonna go into that yet. But it's such a beautiful game in the way that it the music, like it's got a certain aura to it. Like the French music, the French like weapons, like speech, the atmosphere, and it's so distinct, and I just really like it because not other games have it. It's almost like Bloodborne in the way that it's so distinct, like
It's like
and how
Paper
it's made.
Mario Thousand Year Door.
Sure, yeah,
I
some like
would
it's
not say that.
got
It
but
has like the same kind of. It's like turn-based, but with like
yeah,
action buttons.
active
So
turn
it's
based
just Thousand Year
is
Door.
the combat was more active than a lot of turn based games, so I really enjoyed the combat. The story was really good. I think it's got a spot in top 50 games of all time for sure. Um,
Interesting.
and yeah, I thought it was a awesome game. So, yep, that's all I have to say about it.
Okay. Isaac, do you have any further comments? It sounded like you did.
Yeah, it's my number one pick. So it's the best game I played this year. I'm
Oh,
actually
well,
still playing through it.
don't say
Get
too
ready,
much until we
get
get to your
ready for
number
the meat
one, but
ride.
Oh, okay. Well,
well, you can if you
never
want
mind then.
if you want, I mean you can jump off what Luke said, but if you have any like solo thoughts, I would wait till your number one. But
No, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'll just wait.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Josh, what is your number two?
All right. I would say the Oblivion remaster.
Okay.
Um, they say it's a remaster, but it's basically a remake because typically remaster is like they just upscale. But they like remade like almost almost all the assets
Hmm.
to make them actually higher quality. They made like a bunch of like quality of life changes. Uh, but also the funny thing is that this wasn't remade by Oblivion. It was remade by another studio, which is just funny because it's like Oblivion or because Bethesda would have done a worse job. Um, because that's just how they are nowadays. But like this company, whatever, like they kept all the stuff that was fun about Oblivion, like the story is still there, still the same. But most importantly, they kind of kept like the funny jank in the game, like all those memes of like the NPC dialogue and stuff. And it's like that's all still in the game, so it's still like kind of funny. But then besides that, it's just the same game, but just kind of made better for the most part. I don't know if anything that was made worse with this remake. I think
Yeah.
honestly it just made it better like in
Yeah.
every way. And
Here's my
so
problem with that game though. It's the same game that they made like so long ago and it still feels the same, like it still plays the same, but they put a $60 price tag on it. And so that's like my biggest
Well, I played on
um
Game Pass,
Yeah.
so
Well, one thing I was gonna
oh,
ask is if anything, what would you say is like the biggest like addition or improvement of the game? I'm curious.
mm, I would say probably. Because I would say there aren't like huge improvements and stuff.
Yeah, which is what I was concerned about. It's
I
like
mean
I
the
don't know.
game like actually looks really good.
Yeah.
Um, and then they did just like adjust the combat just to make it a little bit more fluid. Um, and like so I'd probably just say just like combat and like controls. They just made it
Okay.
more modern-esque, I guess.
Fair enough.
But then the game was also just really good looking.
I see. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I know, yeah, I'm the only one here that's not played this game yet. I would still want to, but I have not.
Mhm.
Luke, what are your thoughts on this game? I know you told me
Um,
before that you have mixed feelings on it.
well, okay. So first off, I'd like to say that it really is like going from the mechanics in this game to Skyrim. They definitely improved some, but there were so many good mechanics in Oblivion that they just left out. Like I think the way the magic works, so you can make your own spells, was awesome. I thought that all the guilds you can join, and it's not like doing the routes of like Thieves Guild or Mages Guild. It's like you join their ranks and you do like things to slowly level up in their ranks, and you get like certain things from that, and it on top of their quest. So it's like it feels more fulfilling, and you feel like you're actually a part of like a group, rather than you do a couple quests and you never see them again, because they're in every village, which I thought was really cool. And I think the story's much better than Skyrim's, but the combat, man, I could not get over the combat. I think it's a huge step down from Skyrim, but obviously because it's an older game, it's the game they made first.
Yeah, because like they didn't want to change the combat.
Yeah,
They just wanted to make it a bit more fluid, which I think was the right choice. I feel like if they tried to stray, I think they found a good middle ground of keeping stuff from the old game and making some of it new, which I would say that's probably why it's more of a why they didn't want to call it a remake, and they just called it a remastered. Uh, but because like all the quests are still there, all the items. Um, and like it's just a beloved game, and so it's more I would say about just making a more modernized version of it for like a new generation of people wanting to play the game, and then maybe like went back to play on it on like their Xbox, and they're like, oh, this game's kind of like old, but so that
Yeah.
would be
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I was like, Oblivion definitely leans more in like story, while Skyrim's more about the gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely want to play this game still. I'm
Mhm.
hoping I can get around to it soon.
Plus, it was a cool shadow drop. They were literally like,
Yes, I agree.
they're like, yeah, this game looks cool, right? All right,
Yeah.
go download it right now.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
like I
oh,
think it
that's
was
hype.
like the day before, like when they announced they were doing like that, what was it, like the showcase, whatever. I
Yeah.
remember I was like there was rumors about that happening. I was like, there's no way that they're not doing that. And then they did. And I was like, oh my God, that is insane. So
Mhm.
yeah, that was definitely a cool surprise. And yeah, I'm happy it exists certainly because I love the game a lot. So yeah. All right. Anything else we gotta say about this game? Okay, Isaac number two.
all right, my number two is a ROM. So it's not
Okay.
like an actual game, but it's well, it is an actual game, but it wasn't made by like a big studio. It was made by a popular YouTuber. Basically, what happened, his name's Alpharad. He got together a team of people, of popular ROM hack creators, and he basically tasked them to make Pokemon. I think he used the base like Pokemon Emerald game, and he tasked them to like make it into a Mario game, but with Pokemon.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and so it's pretty interesting. They did an amazing job. They changed like everything about it. Like it looks like a Mario game now, except it's just Pokemon. You can capture like most of the enemies you find in like just the normal Mario franchise. There's some cool stuff in there. There's some Easter eggs. Um, they kind of make it pretty similar to Pokemon and like a little bit of the storyline. I'm not done with it yet, but in the mainline Pokemon series, there's 8 gyms. They kind of did the same thing, except they call it 8 stars, and at the end you get a wish. Um, it's super cool and it's really refreshing because I feel like most new Pokemon games now, since they're not like recreating a new generation, like they have a couple add-ins, but mostly they keep like all the other Pokemon, and so I kind of know what each Pokemon's kind of doing, how strong they are, what their evolution is. But with this game, I went into it completely blind, so it's super refreshing because I have no idea like what these Mario monsters are gonna evolve into, or
Yeah.
like kind of even really how the game it works pretty similar to Pokemon, but obviously there's some changes. They made some like cool like nods to Mario with some of the moves of the game.
Right.
Um, yeah, one of your starters is a Babam, or like one of the 3 stars you can choose is a Babam, which is the one I chose, and can use self-destruct just right off the gate. So that was pretty funny. Um,
That's awesome.
but yeah, it's a super solid game. So far the story is super solid. Like I couldn't even tell it was a Pokemon game. Like in terms of like the world and the story and everything like that, I couldn't really tell it was a Pokemon game, but it's just a really solid game, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Awesome. Bro, yeah, I'm happy you mentioned the whole like mystery thing about it, like how you don't know what to expect. Because yeah, like Pokemon has heavily relied upon old Pokemon for every game for like over 10 years. Like the last time we had a game that had all new Pokemon was Black and White, which I distinctly remember feeling that when I was feeling that or I was playing that game because yeah, like you don't know what to expect. You don't know what Pokemon are out there and what they can do and how good they are. And I remember that being really, really fun when I played that game. And they have not done that since. So yeah, hopefully Gen 10 will be that, but I'm not getting my hopes up. And yeah, that's actually really cool. What's this game called again?
It's called Super Mario Mon. So it's super, and then Mario Mon is one word.
Okay. It's like that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly like
All right,
that.
there
Yeah.
you go. Okay. That
Man,
is actually really
I
cool.
was just gonna make this video get taken down by Nintendo.
Yeah, they're gonna sue us. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Alpharad has the video of him playing it, so if they sue us,
no,
Alfred's going down
they're
first.
gonna
Yeah.
sue this video
yeah,
that gets 2 views.
How dare you?
yeah.
Sorry, 3.
Thank you. Give me
And
some
then
credit.
don't underestimate Nintendo, man.
I
Yeah.
mean, if there's a lawsuit to be had, they will make it happen.
You
No
that's
need to
right,
fear.
bro.
Okay, it's actually really cool. I like that. Okay, Luke, what's your number two?
Okay, Luke's number two. This was a hard one, all right? It's right up there with number one, but the number one is it's just it's such a significant game to so many people that I had to put it up there. Number two, I'm going Kingdom Come Deliverance 2,
All
the
right.
sequel. All right. And it's really, really close between this and Expedition 33 as well. These are all right there. Same with Blueprints. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I feel like it's gotta come out on top because there's just so much more content in it than Expedition 33. So a lot of people have told me that they like shorter games. You know, they don't have a lot of time to do these things, especially story games. So Expedition 33 kind of fits that for them. And I personally think Expedition 33's story was better in the music, but I think the gameplay and all the different content in Kingdom Come, you just can't even get close to it. I played the first one like a long time ago, years ago. I traded in games at GameStop to get enough credit to get the game, so I really wanted it, and I played it and I loved it. I loved how realistic it was to what I imagined it was like back then, and all they did was improve upon it. There was not a single thing I there was not a single point throughout the entire game where I thought, "Oh, I don't like that," or "Oh, this isn't as good as it was in the last game." They made everything better. The dialogue had me actually like laughing out like multiple times. I laughed out loud in the middle of the night. My neighbors probably thought I was crazy. Like I was laughing out loud. And then there were times where I was like, "Oh my, like that's actually pretty sad," and kind of it got you a little bit, but it had such good writing, like amazing writing. And I know the people who made it, it was definitely a big passion project. Started out as a crowd fund. Is that what they're called? Crowd funds. That's what or Kickstarter. Started off as a Kickstarter for the
Yeah.
first game, and this game they were an actual official studio, and they actually broke a record for most I think words in any game ever. They broke the record for it, and it's just amazing game. you never run out of things to do, and the world changes as you progress, and it's so yeah, I just loved the game. The combat excellence, the characters, you like characters you didn't start out liking, you loved by the end of the game. Just an excellent game.
Okay. Awesome. I have not played this game, and I'm not sure if I ever will, but that certainly is an encouraging review, so I definitely will always consider it.
Hmm.
Has anyone played this other than Luke here?
That's a crying shame.
That is quite unfortunate indeed.
I've
Hey,
seen him play the first game, so
yeah,
And then it
that
did
first
not
game was
convince you enough
beautiful
to buy the
too.
second one.
the combat. I've never played the game, so I could be just completely wrong. But the combat to me, well, at least for my opinion, so I'm not wrong, but it just looks kind of like blandish. It looks like slow and bland.
So yeah, sometimes you just gotta accept that you're wrong. Sometimes, like I would like sometimes I'd be like, oh okay, that's a valid point, but that's just a wrong opinion. I think the gameplay is always I was so exciting and fun, and you always like the way you level up the systems in the game. There's a ton of systems, like so many that I got overwhelmed at the beginning. But I like not overwhelmed, like I don't know if I really want to get into this. Like overwhelmed, like oh my gosh, I can't wait to spend like a long time learning how to do all this stuff. So I really liked it.
See, that just doesn't sound exciting to me. I don't want to take like a ton of time trying to figure out the leveling system or all the mechanics to the game.
Wah wah wah
Well,
wah 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 wah
okay,
wah 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 wah.
you're wrong, but I can accept you being wrong.
What? Strong words.
Well, remember this guy really likes blueprints.
Apparently
So,
not as much as we thought. I bumped it down a spot, so I don't
yeah.
know.
I just remembered my number one, and I can't put it up there.
Mm.
Okay. Josh, what is your oh, that's my number three. I forgot. All right.
Oh,
My
good
number
job.
three, or number three. My number one is Dynasty Warriors Origins. This game
Oh,
is absolutely incredible in almost every way. The main character is somehow, even though he doesn't talk and he's nameless, he is one of the most interesting and most memorable main characters I think I maybe have ever seen. Um, his story and his overall impact on the world is really, really fun to see all the way to the end. This game honestly is in a weird way, with Dynasty Warriors combat, it is almost to me the best RPG in the style of Fire Emblem Three Houses to come out since Fire Emblem Three Houses. There are three key factions or groups that you can interact with, and kind of the first two or three chapters of the game, you play with all of them and you fight alongside them, and you get to know all of them, and then at the end of chapter three, you pick which one you want to go with the rest of the game. And it's really fun to kind of, learn more about each group, and all the characters that are in them. You gain and lose different characters throughout each character's routes. And the emotional ties that go with that is really powerful in my opinion. Um, Bro, get a load of this guy. I
who gave him
think
that?
the combat is maybe the deepest that Dynasty Warriors has ever seen. The special moves combined with the abilities you have as the main character are really interesting. And I don't know. I think every aspect of this game was just nailed. It looks beautiful. And it's got amazing music. Even the overworld, I think it's fun to just kind of run around in and see, what's going on. Um, my only complaint with this game I can possibly think of is that I do think there are a few aspects of the story that are a little bit maybe underbaked in the sense that there are certain times in that the game where characters will either just like completely like leave the story or commit in the story with basically like no warning. And it's kind of just like, what happened here? Like, where did that character go? But ultimately, yeah, this game is fantastic. I recommend it to anyone who has a PS5 who wants to play Dynasty Warriors. Um, I love this game to death. I have fortunately not played all the routes. I've only played two out of the three, but I love it to death. I definitely want to play through the other one when I get a chance. And yeah, this game is fantastic. So,
Hmm.
Josh is gonna be a hater about it. No, he's never played the game, but whatever.
I played the
I
demo
I
and
played the
I
demo as
was
well.
yeah, and I was like, this is no three houses. Also, the
Well,
demo was really
you
hard,
the
was really
demo
difficult for
the
some reason.
demo did not show any of the things that make it like three houses, so that is
Well,
fine.
the demo was like pretty difficult. I feel like it was more difficult than it needed to be.
I had no
Um,
problems with
and it kind of put a sour taste in my gamer mouth. Um,
What?
and and, like I'm a gamer. I played Elden Ring. I beat Elden Ring.
You're taking
Car
stupid X's
Car
off my screen, bro.
Carson here, Carson here just didn't play Elden Ring, and it's like like he won't give that a chance. But like,
What's going on?
I gave this a chance with the demo.
Yeah, I don't listen.
Uh,
Like, I played the demo as well, and like, I definitely don't think the demo was like the best way of showing off the full, like, you know, power of that game. Like, the demo does not do a good job like showing how good the game is,
hmm.
I
and not
enjoyed the
That sounds
demo.
like a developer's
I
problem
mean, I
that
think
they
that's the
should
problem with a
have
lot of demos,
considered.
honestly. I don't I think most demos I've played over the last like 5 years, I feel like have that problem, honestly.
Yeah.
I
Well, I mean,
really
this guy also needs to play Triangle Strategy for the past like 5 years.
this game is
Um,
better than that game.
you don't know that. You haven't played it yet.
I not played the whole thing.
You
You're
haven't
not
even played
wrong.
you haven't even played the demo for Triangle Strategy because you
Yeah, I played
downloaded
like
it.
chapter one, and that was all I need to see. So
If I
Hmm.
if I could
yeah,
put my 2 cents in on this game, I also played the demo, and I actually, for the reason Josh didn't like it, I actually liked it because I felt like it was really funny because it was super challenging, but it wasn't the challenging type that made me just like want to give up. It was kind of like I was always just barely close enough to winning, and so it was pretty engaging. It was pretty like it was a very much a learning experience for me because my only other experience with a game like this is from like Hyrule Warriors, which
yeah,
I played for like a little bit. I didn't have that much experience going into this, but it was interesting to see how like different strategies throughout the demo just made that much of a difference. And I really liked the challenge part of it because it it was like really fun for me. So I wanted to keep doing it until I conquered the main boss who was so annoying.
right. See, it's interesting because I know Isaac, you play on like the hardest difficulty when you play the demo, correct?
Did I?
I believe you did. I remember I was at your house. I was watching you play. I do recall you picking that. I don't remember why you did it, but I think you did. And so Josh, what difficulty did you play on?
Probably it wasn't the easy mode or whatever there
Yeah.
was.
Was I played on normal difficulty, like the middle one, and I did not have almost any problems when it came to difficulty. Like it was not easy, but I wouldn't say it was like brutally difficult. Like I did not have a lot of trouble. Like I think I might die like once, if even that. Like
Mm-hmm.
so, I don't know. I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what to say about that. Bro, how did this man unlock the drawing feature? What's going on
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. So
All right, Lou, do
uh,
you have any? Do you have? I don't know if you have any like thoughts or opinion on this game. I don't even think you ever touched it, but
It's not my kind of game, but I understand why you like it.
yeah, yeah. I think if you're a fan of Muso games, I mean, this is maybe as good as it gets. I think it's really good. So I recommend to anyone. It's fantastic. All right,
yeah.
Josh, what is your number one game of the semi-year?
So it's a little bit of tied between two games.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna give it to this other one due to
Well,
the
you should have given the one that you're not picking. You should have given that number two. That's what I'm
no,
hearing.
because I think these other things are cooler than this other one.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, because this other, because so I was gonna say the one that I almost put up here, but end up not is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Um, and the one that I will be putting up here is Ninth Dawn Remastered.
I actually know what that game is.
Is it because I told you about it? That's probably the
Yes,
oh, yeah, that's probably the only reason why you would know about it.
I do know about
Um,
it.
basically, it's this. I don't know if he's a solo developer or not, or if he has like a really small team. Um, but that's basically the series he's made is Ninth Dawn. Um, and this is a remake from uh his first game, which came out like 10 years ago, maybe. And it's top-down isometric kind of dungeon crawler type of game. It's got like just like a bunch of different weapons and like magic and stuff. And like the story isn't really like the main part of it. It's like, yeah, there's the story, but it's kind of just the gameplay of it. Um, and basically, like you can craft a bunch of stuff. There's like a pet system where you like raise like pets to fight alongside you and stuff. I think this game was like $15. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, and so like there's basically like there's mini games of other games in this game. So like when you're fishing, the fishing is just like a Vampire Survivors type mini game. Uh, and like there's another there's a card game, but it's basically just like a mini version of Slay the Spire, but in this game. And so sometimes I'm just playing like the card game, like in this game sometimes. Um, and it's kind of just like I would kind of say like not a mindless game, but kind of one where you just like chill and you just kind of keep playing and you just kind of kill.
Is that
And so
so?
yeah, and also because I don't know if it is because it's either small team or single developer. Um, and like this game, I don't think it's like very like super popular. Um, in terms of like player count. But in terms of like reviews, like the people that play it do like it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, the guy's company name is Valorware, and so but yeah, that's my take.
I see. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I admit, like, other than the fact that you've played it, I don't really know anyone who's
Yeah.
played this game or like
No,
much about it.
literally the
But
only reason I've heard of this, so I played Ninth Dawn 3 on Xbox because it was just in like I scrolled down like on like what's like related to some I think it was like Moonlighter or something
yeah,
and I just like kind of went down a rabbit hole of like going through like smaller and smaller games and came across this one and I was like sure I'll play it and I loved the game and then it was like and then the guy was like oh I'm like remaking the first game and I was like and so
yeah, interesting. And you played this on Switch, correct?
yeah the one Ninth on Remastered I put on Switch but it's on
Yeah,
everything else too.
yeah. Okay, interesting. I definitely want to look at it. That sounds fun, actually. Okay, Isaac, number one. I already know what it is. We all do, but
Yeah, it's already on
Oh,
this list
sorry.
as number
Let me go
two.
back. I would say it's kind of Diablo-like in a sense as well.
Diablo-like. Okay,
Yeah, Diablo-like sense hack and slash because it's like that top-down view thing. You know, you have like health and magicka. Okay, next.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, Expedition 33 is my number one pick. I think Luke should have it a lot higher, in number one spot. I really love when games use real world cultures to and they implement them into their games and make the games inspired off real culture in the world because it's super interesting like seeing seeing the world's view of like this place and then seeing it put into a game. And I just love aspects about that because it's you're not like it's not like one for one uh French culture, but it's really cool to just learn about some small like small things about it, about the culture. And I really love everything about this game. It's like a moving piece of art. The music is beautiful. One of the best soundtracks I've heard. Not the best, but one of them. It's up there with like Persona and Lies of P for me. Um, the the voice acting for some of the characters, every character in this game is so interesting, and their voice acting, some of them is really cool. Like there's a character named Eski. Um, I probably butchered that. It's probably some you probably say it some French way, but
Excla-
his voice actor is so funny to me. It's like a French. It's he's doing a French voice, and I love hearing him talk. And I thought he was going to be a very silly character from the way he talks, but he actually has a lot of depth. And there's a lot more to the character than you think. And the way each of the characters interact with each other is so cool. It's a beautiful game. It plays like yeah, I guess earlier Josh and Luke were comparing it to Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, but um, yeah, it's turn-based and super fun. Like the way these characters work in battle as well is super cool. Like each character has something unique about them that you can blend together with another character. So it's just a super fun game. And it's also, I also like short games because I am in college right now. And so I kind of need those short games to play. And it's a
Yeah.
bit of a shorter game, but it does it so well. It tells the story so well. And it's an interesting story. Like I've never heard of any of the concepts before. It's super cool.
Yeah. How long is the game?
like
Would you
two
say?
hours.
2 hours? Okay.
Uh,
No, it's
Like
not
30.
2 hours. Yeah, it depends how long you take, but yeah, it's I think the average is about like 30 hours.
30. Okay, that's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So to be clear, you don't think this game is like Paper Mario 2, correct?
Paper
Or
Mario Thousand Year Door, I think
yeah.
it's very different than Paper Mario
Okay.
Thousand Year Door.
well, yeah,
I
no,
think
it's
the only
different. We
So
were just saying that it's only similar in the terms of like what made Thousand Year Door really good was that even though it was turn-based, there was interactivity within
Yeah,
the
like
turn-based,
active
and
combat.
that's what is
well,
yeah.
like in Ups 33.
so I'm curious then, Isaac. So what would you compare this game to? Like what is your best comparison for this game?
Expedition 33, what would I compare it to?
Yes,
Um,
if you have one.
no, I don't think it compares. That's why another reason why I like it so much. I don't think it. Wait, no, I take that back. Actually, I probably compare it to Persona 5.
I think
Interesting.
that's an awful comparison because I actually think Persona 5 was kind of the combat was pretty garbage. I actually ended
Okay,
up
then
hating the
Metaphor
combat.
ReFantazio.
I didn't play that one. It might be.
Yeah, well, yeah,
That
I
one's
mean, it's the
similar to
same
Persona.
except instead of then just pressing A to just do the attack, you then press A to do the attack, and then there's like depending on the characters, there's and like weapons, there's like certain sequences you do to
Yeah.
like get like perfects and
Yeah, like
stuff.
Chrono Trigger did it. I think Chrono Trigger is the best example of active combat,
I
active
agree.
turn-based combat. But yeah,
I mean,
what's
it's
it
the best
called?
version of almost everything. So I mean,
Expedition 33 definitely did it well, keeping you
So
like
Luke is
interested while
saying
playing.
Expedition 33 is better than Chrono Trigger.
No, I didn't say that.
Um,
I didn't say all that. I
I
didn't say
think
all
that's what
that.
he's saying.
yeah. Say
I
I
if
think
did,
you
we
I
have
say
to
did,
that, I'm going to kick you
I
I
from
did
this
think we have
not
to
call.
say all that.
cancel him. All right, we're putting his IP address in the YouTube comments, um, and
Leave a
his
comment and
physical
like and
address.
subscribe if you want to cancel Luke.
Yeah.
Yep,
Say 5 likes and I'll
What?
dox him.
yep, yep.
If you, if you give me $10, I'll dox him right now whenever I want.
Yeah, I'll put my Venmo in chat, and chat.
So for my first, oh man,
Right.
Oh
what?
man, so we back in the.
I don't think this game did not come out this year, but I did play it for the first time this year. I finished it. It was a pretty quick game. I finished it in 2 days because I only played it like nighttime, so it was maybe like I maybe spent. Let me see. I actually check. I spent 16 hours on the game, not including DLC. My number one spot is gonna go to Outer Wilds, man. Outer
Hmm.
Wilds,
Oh, that's a solid
Hmm.
one.
Hmm.
Yeah,
and
nice. Yeah.
oh my gosh, dude. The music is what drew me to that game because I was lucky enough to go in completely spoiler free, which I loved. And it was just the music that made me want to like learn more about it. So I played it
Hmm.
and I obviously, it's a whole thing with the community. You cannot spoil it into the game for anyone. So I
Yeah.
can't touch on the story of the game very much either. But it's a very like if you like space and like kind of like the final frontier kind of like thing and exploring little space games and you like little puzzles. I think it shines all those things in the perfect light, combines them into a complete masterpiece. And it's one of those games that once you finish, you'll put the controller down and like stare at your wall for an hour because it had such an impact. Like the end of the game really had me rethinking like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. Like I wish I could go blind through that one more time. And then
Yeah.
the DLC uh was also excellent. I'm not gonna say it's as good as the main story, but it was excellent. And the way the game you interact with the world is so interesting because you just find things and it's kind of I can't there's so many things I can't say, but basically it's got one of the best stories for being so simple of what it is. It's not super intricate. It kind of lays it all like once you get like understand what's going on, it lays it all out there and
Hmm.
yeah, you get to make your own conclusions. And I really really love the atmosphere. It's got the best atmosphere probably most of the games I've ever played. So I had to give it to number one.
Has anyone else played this game besides me and Luke? Because I played this game like a long time ago.
I want to
Yeah.
play it, but I'm not going to play it.
Isaac?
I've played it a little bit, but I didn't get much. I played the DLC, so
Well,
like a
what was
little bit.
what was the DLC called? Because that's kind of weird how you only played the DLC.
Um, I don't know what the DLC was called. I just remember being on an island with some shadow people or something.
Mm,
Hmm. Yeah.
And there was a tower
Well.
that went underwater.
Hmm.
okay.
Yeah. Well, so I would say, because this game is very much hands off. Like it basically gives you like you have to like find the direction yourself through like clues and stuff. And the reason why you can't like say anything really is because if you are like spoiled on stuff, and like like how to beat the game, like I think it only takes like 15 minutes to beat the game if you like know where to go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dang, really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
like nothing is locked. It's just you just have to basically figure out how to find like this certain thing, and like done super well to where like you actually would not really figure out how to do it unless you
Knew the answer.
if you knew the answer or like actually followed like the clues, and like it's not confusing clues, it's like very like adventurous and like what Luke said, like Final Frontier sort of thing. And like it's a very uh like peaceful game, but yet also like a bit what would it be called? Um, Slightly traumatizing. Uh, but yeah, but just good old.
I liked it because you can
Excuse me.
basically after like the beginning, like they show you how to do. You start from a kind of like a tutorial island or whatever you want to call it, and then they just straight up throw you to the winds. You get to, and I think that's kind of special how they do it because you really get to choose how your adventure starts, where it happens. There's so many things to explore, and no matter where you start, you're going if you like you're going to like see as long as you don't get spoiled, you'll most likely see everything the game has to offer and how it works. And it's just every because it's a space game, there's planets. Every planet and thing is so unique and it's so cool. It is really cool. And the characters are they don't give a ton of depth to them, but what depth you do get kind of sticks because they're so different and unique. And I liked it.
Interesting.
And man,
Okay.
so yeah, so as we can see on the board, everyone has green check marks except for Blueprints with Luke, and Carson isn't doing too hot there. Um,
I can't believe you didn't like. I get you didn't love Life is Strange, but you think it's an X? You don't think it's good at all?
I
Life is
mean,
Strange is
it
really
being
good.
your second like best game you've played this year.
Well, you can see my entire list over here. I
I'd say
mean,
second best isn't bad. Life of Strange isn't. I really love that game. It was great.
yeah.
I
So
feel like
you didn't even talk about it when I was talking about it. Luke, why do you like this game? Tell me.
Life is Strange has another thing. It's like its atmosphere is so cozy.
Yes.
You're like a seaside town. All the
Yeah.
characters have really unique traits to them. I'm not gonna say
Right.
like backstories or anything, but they have traits that
Yeah.
you kind of like. you'll understand like their motives for doing certain actions, and if you don't understand their motives in the future, you'll learn more about them through like relationships, and then you'll realize why they did certain things. So the people you see at the beginning take a whole new light at the end of the game. So where it's like, oh, well, I really like this guy and I don't like him now, or I hated this guy and I love him now. And it's just
Right.
really cool in that aspect.
Right.
Well,
And
Yeah.
also,
so many twists.
well, I will also say that I have heard Carson say that Final Fantasy. Oh, that's 15. Never mind. I was thinking that was 16.
If
But
it,
for
if it,
but
if
for
if 16 was on there, that'd be number one.
yeah,
So
yeah, but Chronicles. I know you love Chronicles X.
I
So
do,
that's
and
I don't want to miss.
I'm that is a excellent segue because that is
That's
actually
crazy. It's
my.
crazy to say that you thought Life is Strange was better than Chronicles X.
So Xenoblade Chronicles X is actually my one. So I'll start by saying I actually do all these games I have played so far this year. All of these are on my list. I actually do like all these games. There's not a single one that I would say I dislike.
That's crazy
Um,
of NBA on 2K on
so
there.
I mean, yeah, some more than others, but I do like all of those games overall. I don't regret playing or buying any of them. Um, However, if I were to give one honorable mention, like to highlight, I would say Xenoblade X, and that is because I unfortunately have not beaten the game, the new one, but I do love it. I love the things it's added. I love the changes. I love the graphical upgrades. I love the new story elements it added. I've not seen them all yet. I've only gotten through I think it's chapter 5 through like Noctilum. So I've not gone super far in the game, but I do love what I played. I think that overall it is the definitive version of the game, and I recommend anyone who owns a Switch or a Switch 2 plays it immediately because it is fantastic. And if I had beaten through the whole game, it probably would have been at worst number 2. So yeah. I don't know if anyone have honorable mentions other than me or
I'll put an
Uh,
honorable mention.
okay,
yeah,
what's yours?
Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Okay, why do you like Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Yeah, I mean, it's just set in a really cool time era. I would say the game starts really slow. 'Cause like they also like with all the advertising and stuff, it's like you'd think that you'd play Yasuke like pretty quickly. Um, but like I think I was like 20 hours. No, it is partially my fault because I did a lot of like side stuff. But even so, like I only like started playing as Yasuke like 20 hours into the game. And when he was like introduced a second time, because like you see him in the very beginning and then you don't hear about him at all until there's like a kind of a shift in the story. Um, and he's basically just like a badass and is like fun to play as and stuff. And so I would say that like if you only play a little bit in the beginning, you're like this is kind of ass, but then it gets like way better. But mhm.
I see. Luke,
And
do you
also
oh god.
and also Lego Lord of the Rings.
Lego Lord of the Rings.
I
Yes,
Okay.
actually own that one. That one's pretty fire.
I was playing that at the beginning of the year, and yeah, that game's pretty fire.
Interesting. So I know Luke, you've played Shadows. Do you like that game?
I think it's a step in the right direction after the oh my gosh, Valhalla game. I legit fell asleep
Valhalla
while
was
playing
really
it.
good.
I hated Valhalla.
Valhalla's really good. You suck.
Nah, it really honks. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, what about it?
Well, personally, I think the combat blew, absolute blue
The
chunks.
combat was really good.
I think it blew chunks. The story was very, it just, it had nothing to do. I actually, okay, if I want to get into this year I went back and played every Assassin's Creed from Altair all the way up until Valhalla. I beat Valhalla and then I ended it. Or I played some Shadows, but that's like a new gen kind of thing. So I paid through all the games, and
Or get your crap off my screen.
and if I'm going to rate them compared to what like the glory they used to have, I think the game that the last game they made that was really really excellent was
Black Flag. I agree.
Odyssey.
it's gonna be Black Flag. Like to that caliber,
Odyssey
you
was really,
cannot.
really good.
Odyssey, I have like over 100 hours in that game, and I still think it's mid. I think Syndicate's way better. Um, and then
Syndicate's better than
yep,
Odyssey.
yep, that's my
No,
opinion.
Black Flag
Dude,
is the
And then
last good one.
and
dude,
then
kick this guy from the call.
No,
dude,
Black Flag is the last good one. You're speaking facts
you
right now.
cannot. I went back and played Black Flag. I first of all, I played through all of Ezio, the first game, Revelations, Brotherhood, and his trilogy. I think
Yeah,
topped every
the
main
story's
character.
very good for those, but the
Yeah,
combat is like way worse than what it is now.
I actually
The
pretty
con the,
I enjoyed the combat. I
the
hated it in
combat is you
Valhalla.
wait for them to strike and then you press B to counter.
Well,
And then
no,
you
I
mash
think
X.
it's more about sneaking because
No, that's what the combat is.
I didn't have a lot of combat interactions, but other than like sneaking when I played most sneaking, only in Black Flag that I have a lot of open encounters. But if I'm going to like narrow it down, you okay, my huge gripe about the new gen is they completely threw their story out the window. Completely and utterly. Because I read the comics for Assassin's Creed. I
Oh,
know
nerd alert,
all
nerd
the
alert.
lore, dude. I know all of it. And they just
Nerd alert, he
completely
reads the
just
comics.
chucked out what made it special and retconned like half of the story. And I'm like, well, what the heck then? Because the story was actually fire. They Juno was like, okay, Desmond kind of gave his life to stop Juno, and then she just kind of appears in Odyssey as like a nice person, and I'm like, okay, well, she wanted to enslave the entire humanity, so I don't know what that's about. It was just retconned everything.
Because it happened before, didn't that Odyssey's bef like this like that's before.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about like this was she was like millions of years before Odyssey. She tried to enslave humanity. They were enslaved, like the humans. They're kind of humans, and then uh, she's been trying to enslave them throughout everything, except and the only game where she doesn't try to enslave everyone is Odyssey because she helps Alexios for some reason or Cassandra, and then she's never mentioned ever again, even though she was. They were prepping her to be the big bad after Ezio's games, and I don't know. Black Flag they gave up on it as well, but I'm gonna give Black Flag a pass because like Edward Kenway, his story was magnificent. So I'm not even gonna say nothing
Yes.
on that. His
Yes.
character growth needs to be studied, dude.
Bro, facts. Facts.
Hmm.
And that's why
Well,
Shadows is bad.
All right.
no, because I was because Shadows is made all the pretty good Ubisoft games are the ones made by Ubisoft Quebec or Montreal. Um, like all the bad Assassin's Creed games were made by like a random one. I think like the one that made Mirage was like Singapore. Um, I think the only like blunder uh that the Quebec and Montreal one made was Unity. Unless
I
they
have to
didn't.
disagree. I really do.
Hmm.
You can keep going. Once you're done, I got something to say on Unity.
Okay, yeah. Well, but I highly disagree with this dude over here, because the combat is very, very good, I believe, in Odyssey and Valhalla. There's a ton of different variability. There's like a power-up system that works well with the mythology within the time period. Uh and like the worlds are very well the open worlds are very well designed. Um yeah, I would say the story isn't as good as like Black Flag or as a like the Ezio trilogy. Except for Odyssey, I just like the Odyssey time period of the Peloponnesian War and like your play in it. Uh and then yeah.
Well, the reason I liked Unity is because it kind of continued on the guy you played from Rogue, Assassin's Creed Rogue. You play as this guy who kind of goes against the assassins for a good reason,
Okay,
and it
I have to
adds depth.
say, all right.
Oh my
And
You
then
like
gosh,
he,
this has
you like
evolved
Rogue?
into Assassin's
I
Creed
was I
discussion.
no Carson, shut up. I will say because Rogue is really good, and so I'll have to give him a point there, because the ending of Rogue is the very beginning of Unity.
yeah, I just like how they continued it. And I
Yeah.
know the missions. There's a big gripe with the missions being super similar, and they honestly are copy and paste in different areas. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And that's all I have to say about that.
Hmm.
Isaac, what do you think?
About the Assassin's Creed games.
Yes.
Yes.
I think that I agree with Carson. Four was the four was
Yeah,
the last
Black
good.
Flag's the best one, bro. I'm telling y'all. Yeah.
Black Flag, the ship idea. I guess what was you guys said we were talking about Rogue. That's the same ship idea. I did like
Yeah.
that game, but the ship and the fighting mechanics are so fun. Like, they're
Facts.
so fun.
Facts.
I love like pirates, anything on the. I love that stuff. So
So why didn't you get
Facts.
Skull and Bones then? If you loved
I
it so
don't know what that is.
Oh, don't compare that to Skull and Bones, please.
Yeah, that wasn't made by Ubisoft Montreal.
That's blasphemy,
So
bro.
that's why it was dog water. Even though it was the first quadruple A game ever made,
Yeah, and it really shows.
according to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know which one it was, but I know it wasn't Montreal.
All
Um
right, I might have to leave the rankings.
all right.
Wait, before you go, do you have any honorable mentions or what?
Honorable mentions.
Yes.
From
Real
your
quick.
list.
From anything you've played.
Oh, honorable mention.
Yes.
No.
Well then.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well then, Luke, what's your honorable mention? Do you have any?
Just an honorable mention I'll throw in there because I'm loving it. I'm not done with it. Is Death Stranding 2.
Walking
Yeah.
Simulator number two.
Okay, so Isaac, I want you to shut up right now because you never even played the first game. And the first game, I've
Oh
never heard
my
anyone
God.
say the first game's name and fun in the same sentence because that game is one of the worst gameplay loops I've it is the worst gameplay loop I've ever had. I hated the gameplay of that game. I
What, Death
absolutely
Stranding?
hated it. Yeah, the first one, yes.
Then why'd you
But
buy the second one?
because the story was excellent. I really
Uh,
like Kojima, how he writes things. And I'm happy to say that he fixed a lot of my like about about 80% of my gripes with the game.
hmm.
So
Do you
So you're
like it just
telling me
because he added
it's
Pekora into the game, the VTuber?
you said what?
Do you just like it because he added Pekora, the VTuber, into the game
Uh,
from Hololive?
I didn't know there was a VTuber in the game, but
Nah,
well,
he's
yeah,
lying.
so you're telling me the gameplay is better than just delivering packages this time?
yes, the combat's more in depth. Like it is much better.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
now real quick, Josh thankfully reminded me that no Carson Howard video list is incomplete without negativity, or sorry, it's complete on negativity. So real quick, I'm going to give one bottom game, and I'm going to start by saying this game is not bad. I actually liked it, I'll even say, but it has issues, and I definitely don't think it's the best game of all time. And that is Life is Strange Before the Storm. I'll say real quick, playing as Chloe sucked. She was miserable. I didn't really like her that much. Um, and I don't think that having it be a prequel was that great of an idea. I think a lot of the storylines and overall plot of the game was a little bit pointless and shallow. One of the bigger storylines of the game is your relationship with Chloe's parents and particularly David. And they try to make it seem like you make progress in that department throughout the game, but ultimately it is still an issue when you get to Life is Strange 1. So, what was the point of all that? I will never know. Um, I thought talking with what's the other girl's name? Rachel Amber. That was probably the best part of the game. She was the most interesting character, and she was the only one that was not present in Life is Strange 1. So yeah, ultimately, I think the game is not bad. I enjoyed it, and I definitely think it's fun to play if you play the first game. But if you skipped it, I wouldn't blame you. And ultimately, I think the game is a little bit redundant. It just doesn't feel like it's necessary. 'Cause you don't really gain a lot of context and or appreciation for the first game off that game alone. I just don't think there's much that it really adds to the Arcadia Bay universe. So yeah,
Mhm. Very good analysis there.
thank you.
My one bad blueprint. Blueprints was boring.
Ouch. Okay.
That hurts.
Yeah, tell me how you really feel,
It hurts, it squirts. Oh, bye.
bro. All right. MMOs have a negative ranking, or are we done here?
I think
Uh,
that's
I mean, yeah, I think that was the only like game that I felt like was bad that I played.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, this has been a very chaotic episode, but thank you all
But
for
it's
joining me here
the
today.
best one yet.
That's one way of putting it. All right. So I hope you all enjoyed our semi-annual Game Awards. We will, of course, be back to do this again, hopefully, during the actual Game Awards during the winter time. But we'll have to see. I don't know. But either way, yes, these are our definitive semi-annual Game Award rankings. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Bye bye.
Bye.